Welcome guys to our very first rated pending review for Little Big Planet 2, right? Same game as Little Big Planet 1, but it feels a little bit fresher, a little bit better. They got some grappling hooks, they got some fucking crazy shit.
Some cakinators.
This is actually going to be the review for the single player, because we wanted to do 2 reviews instead of just doing one big review. Most people like to play the game single player, so if you want to play the game single player, check out this review. If you want to play the game multiplayer, we're going to have another review for you, if you want to, because they're going to be totally different. So, what'd you think of the freaking single player?
The single player, I had fun with it. You're going to be going back.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Especially for those of you who really like trophies.
And collectibles.
Yeah, you're going to be going back for the costumes, the trophies, acing all the levels. You're going to play the same level a few times.
The story in Little Big Planet is...
I don't even know it.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. I had more fun just skipping through it.
Yeah.
And then getting to the actual platforming and all that stuff.
See, in Little Big Planet 1, there was really no story. There was a story, but it didn't need to be there. It was kind of like they just threw it in to justify the game. And I always kind of thought, what's the point of the story sucks. Make a story.
There's no point.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Mario, or
Yeah, and so in this game they threw a story in there, and then I realized I don't want story with Little Big Planet.
Yeah,
it
tried too hard.
It took itself way too seriously.
And it was trying to be cute at some points, and it wasn't. It was just like, it was really long, cinematic, kind of Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, I thought I was playing Metal Gear for a second. Yeah, I was like, skip.
Some pretty long cutscenes that I wanted to just fast forward through.
By the way, that's a new feature. You can skip things. You can skip cutscenes, and you can skip the leaderboards.
Well, that's a new feature because it's cutscenes.
It's kind of weird in the game is they'll have voices, and then they won't have voices. Then they'll have voices, and then they won't have. It's really inconsistent.
Yeah, you just a bubble instead.
Yeah.
Like I said, the game still feels fresh and new, and the fact that you could bring your Little Big Planet 1 stuff into Little Big Planet 2, along with your characters you already have, it's kind of like the Mass Effect 1 to the Mass Effect 2, where I feel like I didn't lose anything. I'm just gonna gain more stuff.
So as soon as you boot up the game, you'll be prompted. It'll say, "Hey, I thought I recognized you," and then you say yeah, and then it imports all your costumes and everything, from the previous game. Even your uploaded levels.
All right, there's mini games. You remember the Pong, and then they did the side-scrolling one, the side-scrolling shooter, where you're on the bugs. They also had cars and animals and like
little hamster races.
Yeah, and that was really fun. They just did a bunch of good stuff in this fucking game to make it playable. Something that I didn't like was the camera when we played co-op.
Yeah, see, that's the problem with Little Big Planet games, is that when someone's going to the left or to the right and everyone splits up, everyone doesn't know who to follow. It might follow this guy or it might follow that guy. It's a toss-up. I kind of wish if you're playing online,
it would just zoom out. I wish it would just zoom out, kind of like a Castlevania, where the camera just
gets really big.
It just gets really big and you get smaller because the camera's further back.
Yeah.
I would wish it would have done that because it would have saved me a lot of deaths.
Yeah, because if you're off screen for more than like 5-6 seconds, you're gonna die. It just
also,
kills you.
A lot of stuff was happening to where we were playing, and if somebody would dust us, it would still spawn us at the bottom checkpoint. Since this guy was already going up, we would always die.
Yeah, it's guaranteed death.
Yeah, I didn't think that was very fun at all. That was actually kind of stupid. But to counteract that, what they did was add a lot of checkpoints.
Yeah.
Seems like after every jump there's checkpoints. And he's fucking smiling because he killed us so many times.
What they did with the checkpoints too is, before in Little Big Planet 1, a lot of the checkpoints only had 4 lives to them. And so when we're actually playing with 4 people, so now a lot of the checkpoints have 8 lives.
Yeah, so it gives you a little bit more time to fuck up.
Yeah.
It's a little bit better. Another thing that they still have is jumping into different dimensions. It doesn't recognize where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
If there's a wall and you're in the back dimension, it won't automatically put you into the front dimension, or vice versa. If you're trying to jump and you're supposed to go to the back dimension, it'll kind of sometimes hit you and you'll die.
Yeah, I mean, it usually gets it right. It's probably like 80%.
Yeah, but sometimes it doesn't get it right, and it should get it right all the time.
Yeah, when it doesn't get it right, that's when you notice.
Yeah. The customizability is fucking off the charts.
Yeah. If you have Little Big Planet 1 and you play this game, you're gonna have costumes.
There's no way. Like, I was trying to find my Metal Gear Solid costume, and I couldn't find it because I had so much shit to go through.
One of the nice things about this game, though, what it does with costumes, if you pick up a complete set of a costume, it'll automatically build a set for you in your little pop-up box.
Yeah, very true. So
you don't have to go and find the shirt and find the jeans and find this.
That matches.
It's already there. But if you do want to switch something out, you just put on the full costume and then switch out the jeans or the shirt, whatever you want to do. But that's pretty nice.
The music in Little Big Planet 2 I felt was kind of... It was good.
It was good,
but it wasn't as good as the first one.
No, well, they actually used a lot of tracks from the first. Well, not a lot, but they used some tracks from the first one and kind of remixed it.
Yeah, but it didn't hit me as well as the other ones did.
No.
It felt like kind of in the first one. It felt like the score dictated what the map was.
Yeah, because if you're playing the Mexican map, it was like Mexican music.
No racism at all. You know, we don't take a personal media molecule. But yeah, and in this one, it kind of just feels like it was just thrown in there. They're still good, but
I feel like it's the same thing as a story where it kind of took itself too seriously, where they
kind of want to one up themselves.
Yeah,
somehow.
you hear like a whole orchestra on something simple. Because
essentially, it's almost the same game, but they still did enough to make it a sequel.
Yeah. One of the new features about this game is that it has pins. And basically, what pins are is they're little mini achievements within the game that will say, hey, you know, 200 people played your level, here's a pin. You know, you slap two people at the same time, here's a pin.
And a trophy.
Yeah, and a trophy. You know, some of the pins are trophies.
Are attached to trophies,
yeah.
And they give you extra stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Do they?
Some of them? Do some of them give you extra stuff?
No, I think they're just pins.
They're just pins?
Yeah.
Oh, well, they're still pretty cool to get.
So, pins are basically, if you've played Modern Warfare 2, they're like titles and accolades. You know, they're just in-game achievements. And you can also attach them to your character's picture, so you'll see your character's profile picture.
Kind of like a title.
Yeah.
Kind of like when you were trying to get that fucking gold, what was that? The gold AC-130 or whatever? Yeah, the gold AC-130, and you wanted it because no one else had it. You can do that in this game as well.
So, with the level design, Media Molecule definitely showed you what's new in the game. So, like, you'll play a level and then they'll show you this feature. You play a different level, they'll show you this new feature. And then they'll start mixing them and comboing them, and then they'll kind of inspire you to make your own level with little...
Yeah, it's basically like a gigantic tutorial.
Yeah, that's what the game is.
And every level you play always gets a little bit different. You never play the same level twice, essentially. They always throw like this extra thing in there.
Yeah. You
know, they have the fucking grappling hook, which you can use to kind of play a little Bionic Commando-ish.
Yeah.
I would have to describe it. At first, Michael didn't like them, but he's trying to change his mind. I haven't changed my mind yet. I still think they suck. The grappling hook does have a fucking severe disadvantage. It doesn't grapple what you want all the time. It grapples what's closest to it. So a lot of times I would be trying to grapple on the right, but the left one would be closer to it. The left grapple, whatever, would be closer, and it would grapple the left one and already throw me off into death.
And you can also grapple onto your teammates. So if your teammate is closest to you and he happens to be dying, you're gonna die too.
Yeah, you're automatically dead. Yeah, if your teammate throws off. Also, what you can do is kill your teammates. If they're jumping off something, you can kind of stick it on them and make them twitch.
Yeah, because you can pull them.
Yeah, to where they don't know what they're doing anymore. Which is really fucking fun up until a certain point.
It's always fun until someone does it to you.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Basically,
it's always fun.
The story of the game.
It's fun until you're... It's always fun when you're doing the jumping. Not when you're being the jumped, right? The difficulty in Little Big Planet is pretty easy for somebody who's played platforming games. And even your girlfriend could get into it, or anybody else. It seems like the kiddiest game on the PS3 right now, right?
Yeah, although I would say that Little Big Planet 1 is more family oriented than this one, just because they've added so many things to this one that it gets almost a little bit more
difficult.
hardcore.
Yeah, it gets a little bit more difficult, especially with the grappling gun and stuff. Some people
Yeah.
aren't going to get why they would use a grappling gun, right?
Yeah, it took me an hour to figure it out.
Yeah, it's just jumping, right?
Yeah.
It would be funner if it was just jumping instead, like Little Big Planet 1
yeah,
was.
it's just jumping.
Jumping and grappling was. Essentially, the gun is still just using the R1 button instead of
it's just there's a technique. There's a technique to it. You're not gonna.
It's definitely a little bit harder, but it's still the best game for a family out there.
Yeah, to get 4 people on the same system playing and.
Yeah, if you want to have this at a party, you could just bullshit around, and it'll probably be the best party game, platformer out there, other than Rock Band.
I was gonna say, take that, Rock Band.
Other than Rock Band, it's probably the funniest game that you can play. Little Big Planet is a game that should be in your collection, but the game really, really shines in the multiplayer. If you're gonna play this game just to play a platformer, it's still gonna give you around 6 hours of gameplay. I want to say, maybe
give or take
6 hours of gameplay, but you really, really want to play it online. This is just, I know this is a single player review, but goddamn, it's so much better online. it still should be a purchase whether you have online or not.
I've got to agree with you. Although the single player is fun, it's good. It's going to show you how to play the game, how to make levels, and it's a very good variety. It really does shine online a lot better than it will ever single player.
Yeah,
because the community is going to support this game and give you more than 50, 60 levels. There's already 2 million to play.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
So the single player will keep you entertained for those first 6 hours. But if you really, really want to play this game and get the full value, you're gonna want to play it online. That's where this game just fucking goes above and beyond. And if you want to check out our online review, it'll be up a little bit after this one. But let's give it a final score. What do you think?
I'm gonna give it a 3.5 just because.
A 3.5?
Yeah.
You're gonna give it a 3.5?
For single player.
Holy shit, man!
I'm going there.
Oh man, I can't wait till we see our comments. Fuck.
I'm going there. It's fun, but if you already have a Little Big Planet 1, this game is still good and it's worth the purchase. But
you're still gonna dig more Little Big Planet 2, but you just don't think that the single player is really worth the whole entire purchase of this game.
Yeah, if you don't have online to play this game, it's not a $60 game.
True, very true.
If you have Little Big Planet 1 already.
Yeah, if you have Little Big Planet 1, you're pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah.
This is without the online stuff. I'm gonna give it a 4, just because it kept me entertained more than most games do. I fucking love platformers, so that we have our thing there. Platformers just dig it for me. The customization is off the hook. I love making my characters.
Yeah.
Every level was fucking different. There's just some things that I just don't agree with. Most of the levels seem like they were kind of just a taste of how great they can be.
Yeah. And
how great the community has already made them.
They're basically telling you to play this game online.
Yeah, play this game online. And that's why I'm gonna give it a 4. It doesn't really deserve the full 5, just because of the short multiplayer and all that for a the short single player for a $60 game. Fuck you, bitches.
I'm sorry.
I know. Say you're sorry. Say you're sorry. Say you're sorry. You can edit that one in. He gave it a 3.5.
You can almost hear it in his voice, like, I don't wanna.
No. He's a Sony fanboy, and he gave it a 3.5. I fucking love this program.
That was the whole point of it, though. It came out exactly like I thought it would.
At the end of it, we should just show only Sony shit in here.
Yeah, Michael is a Sony fanboy, so let's give him a little if he gives it a 3.5, then he's giving it a 3.5.
I meant it.
Alright.